Assalamualaikum and hello. We are going to continue how to give the name for aliphatic alcohols. There are a few cases that I'm going to focus in this video. Let's go one by one. We are going to talk about alcohols with one OH group attached in its structure. How to give the name? Step 1, you have to determine the parent alcohol, where it's supposed to be the longest carbon chain which containing OH group, and your OH group must be at the lowest number of carbon atom in your parent chain. That is the first step. The second step, you have to give the name of alcohol with suffix. The end of it will be ended with OL, ol. And the last one, you have to follow and arrange your substituent as prefix in alphabetical order. Let's try example 1 where I got structure A. In this structure, you got OH group attached to this carbon. So automatically this carbon is going to be first carbon and this one is going to be second carbon. So for two carbons, for alkane, we know it as ethane. But right now you got OH group, so the name will be ended with ol. So you are going to change E with ol. So your name for this structure will be ethanol. Next one, we got this structure B, where I'm going to determine my parent chain that has OH group. So in order for me to do that, I'm going to start from here where my OH group is closer to the right. So I'm going to highlight all the carbon chains that containing OH group. So this is my parent chain. So my numbering is going to start from right hand side. So this is my numbering, first carbon, and this is going to be the second, third, fourth, and fifth. And the next one, I got my substituent CH3 as methyl. So how am I going to give the name? I'm going to write down my prefix first for substituent, where my substituent is at position carbon number 4. So the full name will be 4-methyl. And then I got my OH group at carbon number 2. So I'm going to give the numbering for OH at carbon number 2, and this is 5 carbon chains for alcohol. So the name for the parent will be -2-pentanol. You can also write it down as another style, which is 4-methyl pentan-2-ol. So make sure at the end of this one, if you want to use this style, your parent name OL must be separated with the number. Now we are going to continue with alcohols with 2 or more OH group. In this step, the same concept is applied for the first step. You have to determine the parent chain with the longest carbon chain that contains OH group, and your OH group must be at the lowest number of carbon chain. Next one, for the second step, you have to name the alcohol with their family name of corresponding alkane, including with diol and triol, and your position of OH groups are indicated as the prefix of your parent alcohol. Let's try from example 2, structure A. I got here is 2 carbon chains, so I'm going to give the numbering for whichever carbon that I want to start. So I got 2 of them, and you can see that at each carbons you got OH group attached to them. So as general, for alkane with 2 carbon chain, you are going to name it as ethane. Now you are going to give the full name for this one, indicates the position of OH group at carbon number 1, 2, and then put your alkane, ethane, and then due to 2 OH group is going to be diol. So this is the name for structure A. Now let's try structure B, where I got my alcohols with 2 OH group as you see here and there. So which side am I going to start with my numbering? I'm going to start from right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because it's much closer and most of the OH group are grouped at the right side. So that's why the numbering should be from here so that your carbon with OH group can get the lowest number as possible. Now I'm going to give my full name for this one. Indicates the position of carbon with OH group. So I got carbon 1 and carbon 2 dash, and for alkene with 4 carbon chains you got butane, so I'm going to write down butane, and due to 2 hydroxyl groups in this structure, so you are going to put diol at the end of the naming for structure B. Now let's go to structure C. I got my OH group where I'm going to start by try and error for numbering of both sides. I'm going to start from the left side first. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my alcohol is at carbon number 2, number 3, and number 6. The total will be 11. And the next one, I got the numbering from right hand side. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So my OH groups are at position carbon number 1, number 4, and number 5. So the total will be 10. Which locants we are going to use? The lowest as possible. So between 11 and 10, I'm going to pick 10, this one. So the numbering for the pink one, I'm going to delete that because we are not going to use that anymore. So now let's continue with our full name. With this one, structure C indicates the position of OH group. I got at position carbon number 1, 4, and 5. And the next one, dash, I got 6 carbon chains for my alkane, which is hexane. And then there are 3 OH groups in this structure, so it's going to be triol. So this is the full name for structure C. Now we are going to continue with the third one, the priority case, where in this form, OH group is not as the parent one, but as a substituent. And in this case, we are going to choose the naming hydroxy in some complex cases. Let's try with the first structure, A. I got this structure and you got 3 different functional groups. The first one is Br, my halogen. The second one is OH, my hydroxyl. And the last one is COOH, carboxyl group. So between these 3, which one is the most priority? Please remember about chapter 4, you've learned about priority case in aromatic compounds. So of course, in order of the most priority is going to be carboxyl group. COOH is more priority than OH and more priority than halogen. So in this part, my parent is going to be the carbon chains that containing COOH. So I'm going to highlight the parent chain with the blue color. So I'm going to start from here towards to the left, you got until there. So this is going to be your parent, and the first carbon automatically with the carboxyl group attached to it, this one, first carbon, followed by this one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you got 7 carbon chains for carboxylic acid. So the name of the parent will be heptanoic acid because this is carboxylic acid. Make sure there is a space between oic and acid. And the next one, you got the rest of the groups attached to the parent chain as substituents. So you got methyl here, you got this one as hydroxy, and you got this one as bromo. So when you want to give the naming, I'm going to start by using alphabetical order. So in this case, I'm going to start from B, followed by H, followed by M. So bromo is at carbon number 6. So the name will be 6-bromo. And then I got my second one, hydroxy, is at position carbon number 2. So -2-hydroxy. And the next substituent, I got methyl at position carbon number 6-6-methyl. And I got my parent, rapatkan dia, make it close, heptanoic acid. So this is the case, an example for structure where it has OH group, but this one is not the alcohol as the parent, but carboxylic acid as the parent. Now let's go to structure B. I got this one. Structure B, you got hydroxyl, and I got this one, carbonyl. So between this one, this is what we call as COH, and this one is what we call as CHO. So please make sure you can see the difference that I wrote here. And what's next, I'm going to refer to the priority list between aldehyde and alcohol. Which one is more priority? For your information, aldehyde is more priority. So in this case, alcohol is the least one. So for my parent, I'm going to highlight that as the green one, starting from this carbon until there. So this is going to be my parent, where the first carbon is this one, the one that attached to double bond O. And the second will be here, third, fourth, and fifth. And the next one, I got my parent with 5 carbon chains for aldehyde. For your information, aldehyde will be ended as al. So this one is pentanal for my parent name. And the next one, at position carbon number 4, I got hydroxy. Please remember the spelling without L because this is the substituent. And the next one, I also got methyl. So I'm going to start using H first, followed by M. So my hydroxy is at position carbon number 4, so 4-hydroxy. And then methyl is at position carbon number 3, 3-methyl. And my parent is pentanal. So this is the full name for structure B. Now let's go to the cyclic alcohol, the case number 4, where in this form, they must be in the ring, and the carbon atom bonded to the OH group must always be labeled as C1. So in this case, let's go to structure A. Automatically, this one is going to be first carbon, and you got 6 of them in the ring, whichever side you want to go, clockwise or anti-clockwise. You will have this structure. So from here, you got 6 carbon atoms in the ring. For alkane, we call it as cyclohexane, but right now it has OH group attached to it, so the full name will be cyclohexanol. Settle for this one. You don't have to give the numbering for OH group because it will always be at first carbon for this structure. Now we go for the second structure. You got same case, but right now with 2 different groups attached to the ring. So automatically this one is going to be first carbon and this one is going to be the second carbon. So as you know, my parent will be cyclohexanol, the whole thing here. So my substituent is the chloro, this one, at the second carbon. So the full name for this one will be 2-chloro, and my full name for the parent, cyclohexanol. Settle for structure B. Next one, we go to structure C, where I got my ring which attached to the OH group. Automatically this one is the first carbon, and my parent will be all this. So as you see here, I got 5 carbon chains, and I'm going to start the second number of carbon in clockwise rotation. Why? Because we are going to put alphabetical order for bromo first and followed by methyl. So bromo must be at the lowest number. So I'm going to give the name for this structure, which is 2-bromo-5-methyl, and my parent is cyclopentanol because 5 carbon chains in the ring with OH group attached to it. Next one, we go to structure D, where I got my structure of 6 carbon chains attached to 2 OH group at different position. So this is going to be the first carbon, second, third, and fourth. So how am I going to give the naming for this part? Please remember, we have to make the name for alkane stay as it is, but you have to add up diol or triol at the end of the naming. So indicates the position of OH group attached to the carbon in the ring. So it will be at position carbon number 1 and 4. And the name for this alkane is cycloalkane with 6 carbon atoms, so cyclohexane. And you got 2 OH groups attached to the ring, so you have to put diol at the end. So this is the name for structure D. Now let's go to the next part. For this case, you have aromatic alcohols where OH group is attached to the alkyl group and your structure must contain benzene ring. So you see here OH attached to alkyl group, my carbon CH2, and this whole thing is the benzene ring. So how you want to give the name for this one? Please remember, we are going to choose by using priority case, where between alkyl group benzene and hydroxyl, which one is more priority? This one is R and this one is hydroxy. So OH is more priority than alkyl group. So that's why this one, my parent, is going to be alcohol with 1 carbon atoms. So the name of that parent is methanol. And you can see that it will always be at first carbon because only 1 carbon for your alcohol. That is the special thing about methanol. And the next one, you got at the same first carbon with benzene ring as your substituent, so the name will be phenol. So I'm going to put the full name, make it close together, phenyl methanol. Next one, you got phenol, where phenol is not aromatic alcohol. Please make sure you can see the difference between these two, because phenol is where OH group attached directly to the benzene ring. So this is the structure for phenol. So I'm going to give the name as phenol. So I hope all of you are clear how to give the name for different types of alcohols based on different cases. But make sure you realize how to apply the priority list and how to determine the naming of alcohol based on different structures given. Try to do a lot of exercise, and that's it for this video. I'm going to continue with the drawing of alcohols in the next one. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.